Welcome back. Joining me now is Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Jack Dale. Welcome.
Thank you.
The school board recently completed its search for a new superintendent based on your resignation, your retirement, which we're sorry to see, of course. However, we have a newly appointed superintendent, Dr. Karen Garza. What can we plan for in the transition, do you think?
Oh, one of the neat things that I think the school board and Karen both worked out was she wanted to try and get to Fairfax the first part of June so that she and I could overlap for smooth transition and that sort of thing. So I think that is something that's really positive. It gives her a chance to meet people in the community, the school system, and not have to deal with all the day-to-day stuff that typically crosses my desk, but can phase that one in. So I think that'll be a very helpful transition for Fairfax.
Great. I recently had a chance to sit down and talk with her a little bit. So let's take a look.
Okay.
Welcome, Dr. Garza. We're so happy to have you here at Fairfax County Public Schools.
Thank you. Very excited to be here.
What are the two most important things that you'd like people to know about you?
Oh, the two most important. I will tell you that first and foremost, my decisions will always be based upon what's best for students. And so the students will always be upmost in whatever decisions that we make. So I think that would be the first thing. The second thing is I really like to have, I'm a collaborative leader. I like to have a lot of people to have input in decisions. I think the best decisions are ones that are shaped by the viewpoints of people in the field. And so I intend to continue that here in Fairfax.
You're joining us from Lubbock, Texas. What brought you to Fairfax County Public Schools?
Well, the Fairfax County Public Schools are well known throughout the nation. This is a very impressive school district. I was very familiar with it, having been in Houston. And so when the opportunity presented itself, it's certainly one that I was excited about.
And we know you were an elementary school teacher,
yes.
Correct? And tell us how your philosophy as a teacher translates into your leadership philosophy.
Those are formidable years. In fact, I still consider myself a teacher. I love teaching and learning. It's something I'm very interested in. I read about it a lot. I participate in professional development just like teachers do because I think it's important for us to know and be able to talk about what quality instruction looks like. So I'm still shaped today by the key work that our teachers do throughout classrooms, throughout Fairfax County and in the nation.
And what would you say has been your greatest success?
That's hard to say what was the one greatest success. It wasn't all about me. I think there have been a lot of people who've been a part of teams that have made some important things happen. I'm proud of the work that we were able to accomplish in Houston, taking it from one of the lowest performing urban districts in the country to one of the highest performing. At that time then had lots and lots of foundations, Gates Foundation, Dell Foundation that came to bear to support that work as a result. And lots of good work has continued since. I'm very proud of, I think a number one thing that we have to do everywhere that we go is leave it better than when we left it. And I will tell you that I'm very proud of the professional development that we've invested in our people in both Houston and in Lubbock. So I'm proud of that as well. Lots of good things have gone on in both school districts.
Excellent. What would you say would be the similarities between Lubbock and Fairfax, or Houston and Fairfax?
Well, I would say between Houston and Fairfax, certainly the size and running an organization where everyone's working together and not in silos is a challenge. But I'm a systems thinker, and I love that challenge. I think it's exciting to see a large system be very successful for all students. Lubbock, certainly the city is very different, but I find that students are very similar all over the world. And so I would approach it to being what's best in classrooms, and I will tell you that if you go in a classroom here in Fairfax County and maybe go into classrooms in Lubbock, I think you would see faces and children and teaching and learning that was very similar probably to what's going on here in Fairfax.
And speaking of students everywhere, what do you think are some of the challenges that our students face today?
I think there's quite a number of challenges our students face today. I think certainly the academic demands, the ability to go to college is much more difficult, a much more competitive environment. So the challenge for our public school systems to prepare students for those challenges and ensure that they have the same ability to go to college that we had is certainly something that I know that I see in children's faces when they're juniors and seniors. The pressure's on, and there's a lot we can do to help alleviate some of that that pressure in public schools, that's certainly a change. I think some of the economics in some of our families create some conditions in homes that are challenging as well, and I think we can do a lot in our schools too through our counseling programs and our teachers and providing support for the students and also support to families that help alleviate those issues as well.
Most importantly, are you a Dallas Cowboys fan?
No, we're not Dallas Cowboy fans. In fact, we've followed the Houston Texans much more consistently than we ever have the Dallas Cowboys. And we're our D3 fans. We're very excited to being here and watching him having come from Baylor. We have followed him with a great degree of interest, and so we'll look forward to watching him play on the Redskins.
Excellent. We're excited to have you here. Thank you for joining us.
You know, that's great. I have never been a Redskins fan, so she'll probably be much more welcome. I
know
maintain my allegiance to the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, we know that. We've heard a bit of information about the Seahawks over the years. So you have been here 9 years,
Yes.
and I think along the way you've collected some lessons
Yes.
that you shared with the Leadership Conference last August. It would be wonderful if you could share a few with our viewers.
Yeah, last August, in kind of being the last Leadership Conference, I shared the top 10 things I have learned about Fairfax, and some are very, very serious and some are a little humorous. But the serious ones is we have, and I told Karen this when I met with her, I had dinner with she and her husband and Chairman Moon, and said, we have amazing people in Fairfax County. We're blessed with the ability to hire fabulous employees, from bus drivers, custodial workers, food service, to principals, to leadership team members. So we were really blessed in Fairfax County. And with that comes people that are extremely knowledgeable, extremely competent, and wanting to do things their way, of course. And so then the challenge, of course, is negotiating some of those things across leadership team members, as you well know. And then the other is, because we're so passionate and knowledgeable, we like to bring in our own things. And so we in Fairfax never stop doing anything, which is one of the things we have done to our teaching force at times, is with the appearance at least, and probably some truth to it, not probably, there is, we continue to add on things. So my number one recommendation to her would be, know that about Fairfax. We haven't dumped anything in years, so you may want to do some of those things. One of the other blessings is, and she'll enjoy this part, is that people want to keep things out of my office. They want to be able to handle things at the school level or the bus driver level or whatever, and it's very appropriate that way. So that's a real blessing that she will enjoy. The other thing that's I found in Fairfax more than any other school district I've ever been associated with or known is the diversity of things that we have in Fairfax. From our programs, our kids are diverse, coming from 200 countries of the world, our employees diverse, coming from multiple countries of the world. And what's powerful in Fairfax that I've not seen anyplace else is we view that diversity as an asset as opposed to a problem to overcome. Huge shift in mental thinking or paradigm thinking, if you will.
And our community reflects that too
Exactly.
in our survey.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. So I think that's something that she'll really find is amazingly positive about. And finally, the one that I kind of concluded with this summer with our folks was, I've learned that despite our size, we have over 1 million citizens in Fairfax, and what do we have, 25,000 employees in Fairfax. There's this notion of becoming part of a Fairfax family. And then you don't understand that until you've been here. I think I've been here long enough and been accepted among enough of Fairfax to be considered part of the family. And so that would be an amazing thing to experience that I know she will over time. But you've got to prove yourself. You just can't come in and walk in and be expected to be adopted into the family. So
yeah, absolutely. I know she will get a very warm welcome to Fairfax.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, people are amazing here, from the business community, parent community. My wife and I have reflected recently over the amazing reception that we had and acceptance of that from receptions at congressmen's houses and stuff. But it was really not so much Congress as it was that community of people who happened to live there that wanted to get to know the new superintendent and his, in my case, wife, in her case, her husband. So, yeah.
Well, I know this is not your last show, so we're going to talk a little bit more about what's ahead for you in some of our upcoming shows. So thank you.
Well, good luck to Karen.